Cheers, Ryan Fox here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another live Instagram Q&A. I put the feelers out a few over the past couple of days, and I've got 3 or 4 interesting questions that we're going to field today. Hi George, hope you're well. Hi Todd, nice to see you. Long time no speaky. Hope you're doing well. Hope the mutts are doing well as well. So 3 or 4 questions that I'm going to field, and then towards the end, hi Wes G. Towards the end, I will also give a couple of announcements around my music. You're going to want to hang around for them. Yeah, Todd, yeah, all good, mate. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope it's okay over there in the States. A couple of announcements at the end, so just hang around for those. But yeah, we'll jump straight in. Hi, Olame. We'll jump straight in with the first question. If you want to jump in with a question on the chat, I will also take those as well. So don't be shy. But I've got 3 or 4 pre-prepared questions that were submitted, and then any that you want to ask in the chat as well, just pipe up, and I will get to those at the end as well. The first question is from Dean, who's one of my biggest fans. Actually, he's always we're always DMing each other on Instagram, and he's a big fan of me and my sock fashion wear as well. But Dean wanted to know what made me to become a folk singer and who inspired me. Now I sort of dabbled around in sort of bands and sort of noodling around by myself in my sort of 20s, and didn't really find an identity really that kind of like a hat that kind of fitted me in terms of musical style and that was until I really started to listen to Bob Dylan's music. And obviously, the whole folk thing, they're going back to the protest era of the 60s. Obviously he went on and did a lot more in terms of expanding his repertoire, the type of styles of music that he did. I mean, he practically wrote the book on folk, country rock, blues rock, the whole Christian rock, everything. He seems to have done everything under the sun in that kind of realm. But so his early folk stuff really inspired me. So especially his protest stuff, kind of blowing in the wind, going back to that era, times they are changing, all that kind of thing. So that he was the first person that I thought, wow, I want to be Bob Dylan or do something around what he's been up to. Then I sort of did a bit of who's the bad girl in my life? The missus, yeah, but I don't tell her that. She might get a bit upset. Ethan, nice question. So where was I? So I obviously got into with Bob Dylan and did my sort of research around his music. Really got into it, but then I started to branch out a bit more and look at other folk artists, and in particular more kind of contemporary folk artists. And for me, hi Daniel, I hope that you would agree that somebody that's doing really good work in especially the protest again area is Billy Bragg, and this is someone who I cite as a key influence as well. If you were to ask me to name like 5 Billy Bragg albums and my favourite songs of his, I couldn't name. So I'm not an absolute nut about all of his back catalogue. I just haven't got there yet. But what I do love about him is how present he is. It's you, Buggly, my favourite. That's right, my friend. That's right. I hope you're well, mate. Hope you and the missus are doing well, and the 2 kids and the mutts. No one with mutts, actually. Nice to see the mutt friendly Ryan Fox fans. But what I love about Billy Bragg is how active he is on like social media, for example, and at his gigs. I've not actually seen him live, but I will do. I'd love to at some stage. How active he is, for social. Hi Ethan. Thank you. Look, feeling the love from Australia, mate. Thank you so much. So Billy Bragg, he's so active with social causes, and he really fights the corner for sort of the socialist kind of stuff, and he's very active, as I say, very active, and I sort of salute him really for doing that in and around his music. And he's sort of got a good brand there about sort of speaking out on social issues while still tying a lot of it in with his music as well, and doing great music at the same time. So definitely, Dean, to answer your question in a nutshell, Billy Bragg, and obviously originally Bob Dylan as well. So we move on now to the next question that I've got fielded. This came from Loin Apple, interesting name. Lauren Apple wanted to know what inspired me to start writing music. And I'd always done a bit of music, you know, I had piano lessons when I was a kid, but I didn't, you know, the thing that started, there was a key thing, about the age of 21, 22. I was in between my second and third year of uni, and you get like 3 months off, basically, or off, away from your studies here in the UK. I don't know if it's the same elsewhere, but so I had like a summer where I was working. But hi Brenda, Brenda the Bender Blender, how you doing? Well, so I had like a summer of 2 or 3 months where I didn't have much to do apart from work a bit. You know, I didn't really have to study. I wasn't studying that much at that stage. I was a bit chill around my studies then, but I got chatting to a guy that in a job I was working at in a bowling alley, just doing a bit of burger flipping and stuff in the snack bar there. He was a guitarist, and we got talking about guitar music, and he played in a band or a few things, and did a few bit in around Ashford where I was living, and he really got me interested because he was just like a really cool guy, and he was into his music, and we got talking a bit about Oasis and a few British bands, and you know, he just really inspired me. I thought like he's just seems like a really cool guy, and I thought, now why don't I've got two or 3 months here. Why don't I make use of this time and do something, you know, practical and hopefully enjoyable? So I went and bought an electric guitar from the guitar shop at the top of Ashford High Street, and the guy was really helpful there. And he helped me choose a guitar. So really, that was what to answer your question, Lauren Apple. What inspired me to start writing music was just having the time and meeting this guy that was really inspirational. Hi Pete Loaf, thanks for joining. Hope you're okay, mate. Good question, Pete Loaf. A few of you have wanted me to write a song about the Irish famine, assuming this is like a serious request, I need to do my homework on that, and I did promise to do that. I am a bit wary about trying to write to prescription, but I think if it is as interesting a topic as I think it is, because I know I've heard of 1 or 2 things about it, but I don't know the ins and outs of it, and I know I know that it was a thing, the Irish famine. I'll get to that in a moment, Orle, but yes. Leave it with me. I need to, something as I think as serious as the Irish famine, to write a song about that, needs me to be much better informed about it than I am at the moment, other than having like a passing kind of knowledge about it. Thanks, Pete. No, pleasure. Thank you for the reminder though, Pete, about the request about an Irish famine song, because it has been on the back of my mind, but I will do my homework on that. So Orle says, do I like Jeremy Corbyn? The answer is yes, hopefully for the obvious reasons, but I think he is a good-hearted and a good-natured and an honest man who cares about society and people in general. I think that goes without saying, and I think he got a really raw deal. By the British media in particular. The papers tore him to shreds when he was the Labour leader. You know, the whole stuff about the anti-Semitism, I didn't get that. You know, I didn't. Yeah, me too. Orla, I'm glad you agree, mate. He wasn't given a fair crack of the whip. I think if I don't want to become preachy here and get on my soapbox too much, but I think if people had given him a chance, but he never had the chance to have that chance because of how he was written off and labelled by a lot of the British media. And I think, Jeremy Corbyn, for me, it would be nice to have actually seen him in power and see what he'd have done, because he was our Robin Hood. He was the last chance we've had in my era anyway, of somebody that was going to come in and really be for the people, by the people, of the people, by the people, for the people, and we just don't have that really. Brenda the Bender Blender has asked about any tips for singing while playing. I would just get used to that. Absolutely, Daniel, I agree. Justice for Jeremy Corbyn. When you're strumming and singing, just try and Brenda, just try and just pick any chord, a simple chord, and just with the strumming, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and try to speak or sing a couple of lines over that. It doesn't have to be anything, just, pick the, slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you? And just try and get used to having that rhythm of just down, up, down, up, down, up. This is what I did when I was teaching myself. And then eventually you might want to start to mix up. So go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, and rather than doing it strumming it every time, and then build from there, and then try starting to change the chord as well. And that would be my advice there for you. It was Brenda, wasn't it? Yeah. Hopefully that's useful. And let me know how you get on. Slip me a DM or comment or on a future Q&A. And let me know how you get on with that. And I'd be interested to see, because if I can pass on my passion for guitar playing, then that's that's everyone's happy, I think. No worries, Brenda. George Jones says, what do I think about using AI in music? Well, I am not one to preach it, because I did use, as some of you will know, and held my feet to the fire on this, thankfully, and I genuinely was thankful for this, about using AI in artwork. And I've learnt my lesson here, and actually I now am working, and have been for the last 3 or 4 months, with an artist who's been doing my artwork. He's really good, Marcus Mercer. But AI in general in music, I think it comes down to integrity of how these AI models are being trained, and where they're getting, no worries, where are they getting their data to be able to write music. And most of the time, I think what you're finding is, or a lot of the time, is that they're using other artists, the existing artists, just without their permission. So I don't think that's a good thing. That's a dangerous precedence. If you want to listen to AI generated music, that's your own. First of all, it should be labelled as such, and that needs to be it needs to be clear that any song you listen to is AI generated. But if you do want to listen to it, that's great. But just be aware that you might want to ask a few questions about where and how that AI music was generated, whether it used the music of existing artists, and therefore should they be compensated. I think if they were compensated, then hi Alex, how you doing? Well, yep. Hope you're with AI music, yeah. Are they using the music of other artists, and if so, are those artists being compensated? And my awareness at the moment is that they're not, or at least not properly. Hi Bartholomew, hope you're doing well, thanks for joining. Hi Botch. Hope that answers your question. So in general, I would be very skeptical about AI in music, but things like maybe it is interesting to some of you, but I think the general consensus is that it's not a good thing, for a reason I've already stated about the compensation of the artists that are basically having their songs used to train these AI algorithms to produce these songs, which is, for me, it's not ethical, and therefore it's not a good thing. And the artwork, if you're currently using AI in your artwork, I would encourage you to listen to, like I did, to what's out there, the current kind of what's good practice really, and what's acceptable practice, and what's the decent thing to do. I was paying say £8, £9, £10 a month for an app that I could do this on. What I did was take that money, pay 2 or 3 times, a couple of times more that, but for an actual artist to do it, and then I felt more at ease with my own conscience, which you guys really, my fans fed back to me that I needed to do that reflecting. So thank you for doing that again. Right, I will get on to another question. Another one came through from Loin Apple. Oh, by the way, if anyone wants to jump in with a question, feel free to do so, as I said earlier. I hope that's covered all the questions so far on the live chat. Loin Apple again had a second question. Do you think I'll ever do collabs? Now, I have done a few collabs. Those of you that sign up for my mailing list, the Fox Club emailing list, you do get a link there to, I think there's 4 or 5 different collabs I've done previously in just over the years, really, with people I've met in music and what have you. As for the future in terms of collabs, I would be interested in working with people kind of that are around my kind of level of popularity, that's like, I've got, just to give you an example, I know this, I don't like to measure my success in terms of like metrics like Spotify monthly listeners or, Instagram followers, but, you can generally get an idea of how somebody's getting on, whether by the amount, by like the amount of activity on their posts on social media, for example. And I know that's not the only thing. There's also the live music scene as well, but I'm not currently doing lots in the live music scene locally, to me, because of time constraints at the moment. Although I'm hopefully going to be doing some more in the next year or so, over the next few months at least, anyway. Or definitely in the next few months, and then into the next year or so. So collaborative wise, at the moment I would only be looking to do it over basically online collabs. So basically, yeah. Well, no, I mean it's thanks, One Scamgy. I'll be within my. These are awesome. These are awesome questions. I'll see if I can get through them all in a moment. Hi Eddie, thanks for joining. So collabs, I guess I just want someone that's gonna, because I think if somebody has built up any kind of not even a following, just if they're doing good things, if I like their music, and maybe they might be struggling with social media, which I could certainly help them. But if I see somebody's taking it seriously, that makes me automatically as a potential collaborator think you're taking it seriously because you're doing all one or two or even more really good things. Therefore, I can take you seriously and let's do something. So I think that's kind of, to answer the question. So, certainly I'll be up for, I just don't have the time to do any live collab stuff like bands or duos at the moment, but certainly going forward, I'll be interested in seeing, who's out there. And I think I have put myself as open to collabs on one or two of my socials, but if that wasn't already clear, then I'm kind of interested. And, if anyone there's out there, is interested or you think might be interested, that is kind of doing roughly kind of, genre doesn't particularly matter. Are we compatible? Are we both wanting to do things and doing already something, at least in what we're doing with our music, to make it beneficial for both of us? Because they wouldn't want somebody that's doing selling thousands and thousands of records and tickets probably won't be interested in someone like me who's not reached at that stage yet. So it kind of it's about finding that marriage of someone that's roughly doing things that I'm doing, maybe slightly more, that might be willing to give me a handout, and vice versa. I'll be looking to maybe to give it to reach out to those that might need a bit of help, but are at least trying to get up to some kind of a make an impression with their music. Hope that's covered that. Anyway, somebody got a couple more questions before we move on. Wormscand has asked on the chat, what's the inspiration behind Farewell Auntie Ryan? It's on repeat for me. Oh, that's really lovely. One of my aunties who passed away a few years ago. That's the inspiration. It was a very raw and honest song for me, and hopefully that comes across in the record, in the how emotional I get in my voice. And I've say, one or two of you might recall that I tried to sing it. I did plan to play it at my last gig, but I had to scratch it from the playlist, from the set list, because I was getting too emotional trying to sing it live. That's the inspiration. It was one auntie in particular, but even like my other family as well were of some inspiration to that song as well, because I'm very lucky to have a very loving and caring family around me, which helped me and have been there for me in my ups and downs. And we all try and help each other out when we can, as best we can as a family, as I think is a good thing, in general. Rolf Bartholomew asks, what's my biggest inspiration when writing? Love your music. Thanks so much, Rolf Bartholomew. Biggest inspiration when writing, I mean, it will be, and I write the lyrics first, so and something has to grab, and something has to come in. And those of you know me a bit more, or have heard me before talk about Noel Gallagher as a big influence. He talks about this kind of lightning strike, and I think Chris Martin has said from Coldplay, has said similar things, and around, you get the inspiration, and then it's like you have to exercise that demon of until that song is completed, and to get rid of that idea, and not to get rid of it, to make that idea flourish from an initial inspiration of, Auntie Ryan, oh, wasn't she so good to me? Geez, that makes a really good song. Right, where do I go? Right, lyrics. Right, what do I need to write? And then once I've written the lyric, then I think, what kind of music would, what type of song is this? And therefore what type of music will fit it? And that might be an obvious thing, or it might be something that, if I've been listening to Annie Lennox recently, I remember one of her songs that had a really awesome kind of beat to it and a really moody piano feel. Maybe I could use that in one of my songs. That fits that lyric that I wrote the other night, kind of thing. And so there's no prescription to it, Ray Bartholomew, but I think hopefully that'll give you some idea. Yeah, awesome. Hopefully that'll give you some idea of what the process can be like in terms of inspiration, and then getting that inspiration down onto the page. Right, I think that's so far. Jamiroquai. What Brendan says, what do I think of Jamiroquai? He was really cool back in the day. Nice song, Big Hat, Virtual Insanity. That was a tune. And I loved his. He had a really good like disco funky kind of feel. I wasn't into him at the it was it's like that late 90s, wasn't it, when I was first getting into music, and I listened to his pop stuff, the stuff in the charts at that point in time, mid to late 90s, and I don't know what he's doing at the moment. I don't mean to be disrespectful to him, whether he's still doing stuff, but obviously I've just not kept up with that, just because my music stuff has gone in a bit of a different direction. But I'd be interested to hear what he's up to at the moment, actually, because he did I can't think of the exact name, but there was he had a really hot period of a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, where he was banging out the disco tunes, wasn't he? I think he was really cool, and I'd be interested to know what he's doing at the moment. So because that's just brought back a bit of 90s nostalgia for me. So thanks for that, Brenda. Any recommendations we wouldn't expect? Do you mean like Jamiroquai? Because I just don't have the sort of the in-depth knowledge of what he's been up to recently for that artist, for Jamiroquai. So hopefully, unfortunately, I can't help on that front. But I'll go and have a look. He's still touring, is he? Oh wow. So I forget the album, but certainly around that era, wasn't it? He was smashing them out. So I hope. So it looks like you're a big fan. So now, just anyway. For your recommendations. Let's think. Grace Petrie, or I think you pronounce it Petrie. Grace Petrie, I've been enjoying. She's a folk singer from, I think she's from up north or the East Midlands, round Nottingham Way. Am I making that up? She's a really good folk singer. If you are interested in that kind of stuff, she's got a real great attitude, very socially conscious, and got one of her t-shirts actually. Bought some of her merch, and I bought one or two of her albums, I think, as well on Bandcamp. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I'd support Grace Petrie, or Petrie, I think it's pronounced. Sorry, Petrie. Grace Petrie, I think it's pronounced. She's doing great stuff. Florence Arman is doing good stuff down here in Kent. She's a sort of. She's one of these people where I'm thinking she's doing great stuff, and it wouldn't surprise me if she popped off. As in really took off in the next few months or so, maybe in the next year or so, because everything that I see coming from her is really interesting. She's a brilliant pianist as well, and she's got something to say. Florence Arman, I think it's Arman. I think Florence Arman. Check her out if you're especially into your emerging artists, because I think that could be. And I've got the inside look on that, because I hear a lot of her stuff on the BBC Introducing in Kent that I trying to listen to a bit here and there, and I follow her on all her socials as well. So hopefully that will sort of wet your beak a bit, Brenda, for what kind of stuff you might want to get into next, maybe. The one last question that wasn't on the chat. Hi Tom, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. One last question that was prepared came through on the thingy. Riley, and I won't mention his or her surname because I don't want to embarrass them, but they asked a very silly question: how much Lego can you fit up your back passage, or words to that effect? Excellent stuff, Brenda. All I will say on that is I would recommend that you do it if you're into that kind of thing. which some people are. I know somebody that used to work in A&E, so I've heard the stories. Do it brick by brick, because I won't want you to go and maybe try and pop like the Death Star Lego model up there all by itself, because it's only going to end in tears. Bit of silliness for the end. There you go. Ryan Fox does comedy too. Well done, Riley, for that question. Very interesting. I'm just looking at my notes here. I just made a few notes rather because to get through all those questions is a bit of stuff, a bit of hard to remember. So a couple of announcements I did I promise you. First of all, by popular request, as in at least 2 or 3 of you over the past few weeks and months have asked about a yeah. So build a poll. Yeah, I like you thinking. That's good technique. So there will be I'm very close to announcing a set of a batch that I'm going to get of CDs of absolutely render naughty. A batch of the Explorers Deluxe LP, which is my latest release album, that's only available on Bandcamp and my website ryanfoxmusic.com. At the moment, it's only available as a digital download, but I am in the process of ordering some hard copies, as in CDs. And what I will probably do is for the first batch that I get done, who knows how long it will take for me to shift them, Del Boy style. But I'm thinking of maybe signing them. Maybe that'd be a nice thing to do. Like the first batch, do like a limited edition run of signed Ryan Fox Deluxe LPs, the Explorers Deluxe LP. Let me know what you think of that, maybe in the comments or what have you. You know, I think that'd be interesting. Certainly, I know at least one person is very interested in that at the current moment in time. And a couple of people have asked about, CDs and other stuff over the past few months. So hopefully that will satisfy the Fox Cubs. And I really appreciate the support. And it's lovely to get people asking about, how can I support you? Where can I buy your merch, your CDs from? So it's a lovely thing to be able to do. A lovely problem. Thanks, Brenda. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll there'll be announcements around that. So I'm hoping to get them printed and sent over to me in the next week or two. So yeah, I'll let you know. Look out for that, Brenda. That'd be amazing if you get one from me, one of those. That'd be amazing. And then the only other thing I wanted to say is an announcement about my new song. Which is called Footprints in the Sand. It's not released yet. I've just sent it off via DistroKid to all the outlets, and so it'll be available to stream and buy like iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify as normal, you can stream it or buy it as normal. The release date is Tuesday the 15th of April, so note for your diaries. I'll maybe put a countdown on here or something, and I'll do 1 or 2 more teasers near closer to the time, but let's have a sneak preview. I'll play the first verse and maybe the first part of the chorus as well. So this is Footprints in the Sand, Ryan Fox exclusive preview of my next single, released on Tuesday the 15th of April. Here we go. When I was a young boy, all I ever dreamed was to be the same as you and to follow you around. And now that I've grown to see a force the same as mine, I've learned enough to look for your footprints in the sand. Footprints in the sand, show me where to stand. Oh, Daddy, can't you see what you mean to me? And your footprints in the sand. Okay, so that is Footprints in the Sand, available, as I say, to stream and buy on where are we? Tuesday the Tuesday the 15th of April, less than 2 weeks away, so not long until that one comes out. And I'll tease a little bit more close to the time, a bit of artwork and that. Marcus Mercer's done the artwork again for me. Fantastic job as normal from Marcus. So that's it. We'll wrap up there. Thank you so much, Simon Milfin. You're just joining as I'm wrapping up, but I will post this afterwards, so you can go back and watch the whole Q&A. Thank you so much for all your questions. I'm really loving the fact that you've given me some much more interaction and more questions via the chat this time than I'm actually used to. So thank you so much for that, all of you, everyone that's joined. Loving the attention. And I will be in touch. I'll put this on as a recording onto Instagram. But thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you soon for more Ryan Fox music soon. Cheers, Ryan.